So in this tutorial, you will learn how to expand the Ableton session from the first tutorial in order to perform multiple songs live in a very simple manner. So how is this Ableton project set up? Just like in part 1, we have a MIDI control track. This track receives all the MIDI data from our MIDI controllers. Then these blue tracks, song 1, song 2 and song 3, split the MIDI data for the different songs. Let's take a look at song 1 for now. This track is set to in to receive all the MIDI information from our MIDI keyboard through MIDI control. So then on this track we have an instrument track with a chain for each instrument that is used in song 1. So in song 1 we use a piano, an organ and a synth. These instruments are then split across different chains. So the piano is chain 0 to 7, organ is chain 8 to 15, and the synth is chain 16 to 23. And depending on which chain is selected, it will send the MIDI data to the correct instrument on song 1 patches. Those green tracks contain all the actual instruments that make the sound. So to show you why we use a separate instrument track from a MIDI track, I'm going to create an actual scenario. So let's say this part of our project is going to be song number 1. So I'm going to call this song 1, give it a color real quick, just like that. And I'm actually going to use a marker as well. Song 1. So then we have song 2, which is going to be this part of our Ableton session. We're going to give this the name song 2. Give it a marker as well. And give it a color. So now we have our Ableton session split into two sections. A section for song 1 and a section for song 2. However, if you are using more than 2 songs, for example, if you are playing a set which is an hour long, you can easily get up to 15 to 20 songs. And if you have instrument patches for 15 to 20 songs, that is going to take a lot of CPU from your PC. And when you're performing live, the last thing you want to happen is your PC to crash because the CPU was under too much load. So therefore, we can automate the on and off button of these instrument tracks. Because turning off an instrument track will actually stop using CPU. So, we are going to automate this. Show automation in new lane. And only when we are playing song 1, we want the instrument track to be active. So song 1 patches is going to be on when we play song 1. And we're going to give it a little bit of headroom after the song for any reverbs to fade out. So then when we get to song 2, bam, you can see the instrument track of song 1 turned off. And we can then do the same by automating the instrument track of song 2 to turn on when we reach song 2. So now when we are playing song 1, the instrument track of song 1 is turned on, the instrument track of every other song is going to be turned off. If we get to song 2, the instrument track of song 2 is going to be turned on, and every other instrument track is going to be turned off. That is just to save CPU. It's a genius trick that Anomalie uses as well. In part 1 of this tutorial, I told you that we were going to talk about using external audio effects, but using this method actually means that you don't have to do that. Since your instruments are split across different instrument tracks and different chains, you can actually create your audio effect chains on the instrument chain itself. Let's repeat that because that was complicated. Because your instruments are on a separate instrument track that turns off when your song is not playing, and because every instrument has its own chain, you can simply add the audio effects to the correct instrument chain. And using this concept really allows you to easily create a big Ableton session for lots of songs at the same time to play live. In part 3 of this tutorial series, I am going to show you how you can split an instrument across your MIDI keyboard, just like Anomalie does. You can see for some songs in his live performances that he splits his piano into 3 different registers with different instruments on each register. So if you don't want to miss that video, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notifications to not miss it. Thank you for watching. If you have any more questions, leave a comment down below and leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. My name is Matt Flank. Peace out.